Hey there, fellow travelers, Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here in Savannah, Georgia. And today what I want to do is talk about the things you should see and do when you come to Savannah, because this is a gorgeous city with beautiful squares and wonderful restaurants and lots of fun to be had. But there's more to take in when you come here. And I know we've loved living here. Jocelyn lived here for over 10 years. She went to SCAD when she was here. Our oldest son, Caleb, he was born here right in Savannah. So it's been near and dear to our hearts for over 20 years. And we've seen a lot of changes. But some of the things that have stayed consistent over those years is that tasty food and some other things. But I want to give you kind of the best things to do to have a good time when you're here in Savannah. I think it really starts off with you should go and head over to the Savannah History Museum and grab a trolley tour from the beginning. Because you take those trolley tours, they go around town and they give you a great layout of the city. So you know, oh, the Pirate's House is over there and that's where I go down to River Street, and oh, here's where Forsyth Park is with the square and the fountain. Like, it gives you a good overview of the city, but also they tell you about the history of it. So you know, oh, that's the Mercer House, the one from Midnight in the Gardens of Good and Evil. Like, you have this really good, like, kind of setting, like, base of knowledge of Savannah for you to enjoy it more. So start off with that, and after you finish that trolley tour, go and visit some of the historic homes. And I'll be honest with you, there's a lot of historic homes and home tours you can do when you're here in Savannah. Some of the better ones, some of the ones I recommend. If you want to go where it all started with historic preservation in Savannah, you go to the Davenport House. Okay, that's one you got to go see. If you were in the Girl Scouts, you know, remember Juliet Gordon-Lowe? Her house is here. You can take a tour here. And you'll notice in the summertime, there's a lot of Girl Scout troops that'll be coming through to get their history tour of her and the Girl Scout movement, which has a really big impact here in Savannah. Also, you can go to the Mercer Williams house, which is the house from Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. You can do that. Also, you go to the Owens Thomas house. They actually still have the slave quarters there, so you can see what their life was like. I mean, there's a lot of really great historic homes that can teach you a lot about the history of the U.S., not just of Savannah, because there's so many here. The Green Meldrum house, worth going to. The King Tisdale house. The Harper Folks house. I mean, there's so many historic homes that you could just list them and list them and list them. But pick a few to visit when you're here, because that's going to give you so much more and help you appreciate the city so much more when you're here. So after you've done the historic home tours, if you want more of a museum-y kind of experience, you have the Savannah History Museum you can go see. That's where you grab that trolley, the first stop. That's where you went and got it. You can go there and see that to learn about the history of Savannah. But what I like, when you're there, there's also the Savannah Children's Museum you can take the kids to, but the Georgia State Railroad Museum is there as well. And even if you don't like railroads, it's still kind of cool to see the different railroad cars they have there. And sometimes you actually get to ride the rail. I mean, it's not very long, but you can get on their turntable, and as it turns your engine and you go. I mean, it's kind of a fun thing to do, but if you're looking for museum stuff, I recommend that. But let's be honest, you didn't come to Savannah for the railroads. You didn't come here for the historic homes and beautiful squares and Forsyth Park and the architecture. No. You came here because Savannah is famous for its food. And so when you come here, food will be a big part of your visit to Savannah. So you're going to eat well. So prepare accordingly. And yes, they have the touristy restaurants you've seen on the Food Network. Mrs. Wilkes, where you eat family style. Going to the Pirate's House and having their honey pecan fried chicken. Yes, those are wonderful, but they're kind of touristy, but they're still worth eating. But you have so many great restaurants around the town that you don't have to go to the tourist spots. Those top 10 lists on TripAdvisor are where all the tourists go. Ask your concierge, ask your place where you're staying, where should we go eat? Because for us, we love going out to Cotton and Rye. They have an ever-changing menu when you go there, and whatever they have, it's going to be good. Going to 45 Bistro in Broad and getting their beef carpaccio, oh, it's wonderful. Heading out to Tubby's, whether it's on River Street or going down to the one in Thunderbolt, you can go there and get a fantastic oyster po' boy. Going out to the Crab Shack, yeah, it's a little touristy, but it's still fun to go and do. There's so many touristy places, but not touristy places to eat when you're here. You're going to eat fantastically. So eat, and eat some more when you come to Savannah. Because honestly, for as beautiful as this city is, the cuisine is even more beautiful. So after all that fantastic eating, you might think, oh, I have no room for anything else. Well, my next thing you need to do when you come here is actually go out and have a drink, because there's so many great bars to enjoy your time here in Savannah. And what's cool is you're in downtown, you can get a to-go cup and finish your drink while you walk to the next bar. I mean, there's a lot of places to go and enjoy a drink when you're here. Downtown, or you're going out to the islands or different parts around the city, you can have a really good time when you are here. That's why this is a very popular place for friend getaways, bachelorette parties, because you can have a really good time eating and drinking and just enjoying yourself when you're here. So make sure you give yourself that time to enjoy some of the libations here in Savannah as well. And sometimes you just don't want to spend money. I don't want to spend money on the alcohol, I don't want to spend money on the food, because I'll be honest with you, Savannah is a little pricey when you come here because of all the tourism and other things that have really kind of upped the prices in downtown. But if you're looking for like free stuff to enjoy when you come here, yes, you can go to the park and hear the people play music, but just going around and taking in the beautiful architecture around the downtown area. I mean, SCAD has done a wonderful job of renovating and restoring a lot of the historic buildings around town. Now, SCAD has a interesting history and people in the town have a love-hate relationship with SCAD. But the fact is they have restored a lot of the buildings around downtown to help make Savannah beautiful. So walk around and take in that architecture. And it's not just 1800s historic stuff, even more recent things they've redone to really make nice. And it's not just SCAD, but other people around the city. They have so much pride that architecture, those squares, it just becomes beautiful, because when you walk around and you take in the architecture, those historic homes, you'll see these beautiful squares all over the city. And do be careful when you're going around the squares, because that's where sometimes tourists have problems. But you go around and you just take in the views, you know, and you'll notice funky things about Savannah, like the square's name is not the same as the monument's name. And you might see a monument that has a name that there's a square with that name someplace else. It's one of those things that just makes Savannah, Savannah. And just going around and taking all those things in is really free, but it's also fun to do. Oh, and when you're walking around and you see the Spanish moss dangling down, don't play with that, okay? Because it has like little bugs in it. You don't want to play with that, okay? I'm just telling you. It's cute, it's romantic, but no, don't play with it. So next thing I recommend you do when you're walking around, when you see the Telfair museums, you should go into them. And the thing is, the Telfair's museum, the Telfair actually owns a few things, okay? You have the Jepson Center, which has sculpture and modern art. You have that's in there. You've got the Telfair Academy. That's where you're going to go and see, you know, the bird girl, you know, from the Midnight of Garden of Good and Evil, that statue with the girl holding the birds. That's where you'll see that there. They have the Owens Thomas house you can visit. So the Telfair Museums has quite a few things you can see. So that's worth going to do. And if you're tired of all the culture and beauty and wonderful architecture and historic fun and kind of more prim and proper socialite things here in Savannah, the next thing I recommend you to do is go out to Tybee Island. I mean, seriously. We're talking laid back, whatever, beach time to go to. Go grab an adult slushie, drink that while you're on the beach, throwing the football with the kids. You'll have a good time when you're there. Parking sucks there, but it's still fun to go to if you are looking for a beach when you are here. If you want some more beach time versus like historic time, I do recommend that. Also, if you're looking to do tours, there are so many tours around here. Probably the most popular kind of tours you're going to see are the ghost tours. And I will tell you, ghost tours are the #1 tourist trap I actually have on my list of tourist traps in Savannah. But the thing is, not all of them are tourist traps, so make sure you read reviews, because they do rank Savannah as one of the most haunted cities in America. But then there's some fun stories to go along with it, but you gotta find the right ghost tour to do that, okay? So read those reviews to find which one works for you. Also, if you're gonna be coming on the weekends, you wanna book those tours, especially the ghost tours, early, because a lot of them will sell out. Because you might just be driving around in a hearse that only holds 6 or 7 living beings, okay? So do be aware of that. But honestly, the ghost tours are fun. There's also architectural tours, history tours you can do. So there's a lot of great things you can do here in Savannah. And I just want to give you a few ideas so you can enjoy it. And we have tons of videos on Savannah. Things that surprise tourists when they come here. The don'ts of coming here. Things that tourists do that annoy the locals. All to help you out to enjoy your visit here in beautiful, wonderful Savannah. So I wish you all the best. I'll say bye from here in Savannah.